Lake checking in at 49 degrees later on today. We could be a touch milder. You could see 49 in Walla Walla, and then temperatures rising into the upper 50s and lower 60s as you get closer to Pendleton. We're dry today, but rain chances are back in play by the middle of the week. We'll share that 7-day forecast coming up over the next hour. Austin?
Tiffany, thank you. It is an enduring mystery that has captured the imagination of people for generations. What happened to Amelia Earhart? There could now be a major development in the search for her crashed plane. Here's ABC's Allison Kosick.
This morning, new hope in the decades-long search to solve the mystery of what happened to Amelia Earhart and find the wreckage of her plane. A sonar image now shows what some say could be part of her Lockheed 10E Electra aircraft sitting on the ocean floor. Earhart set out on a journey around the world in 1937 after becoming the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic. Tony Romeo, head of the exploration company Deep Sea Vision, recently searched across 5,200 square miles of the Pacific Ocean floor using an unmanned submersible. In the final leg of the expedition, the team captured this sonar image of what looks like an object shaped like an airplane resting underwater within 100 miles of Howland Island, near where Earhart was believed to have gone down after refueling in Papua New Guinea. Romeo says he wasn't surprised to find the aircraft intact, saying, "We always felt that Earhart would have made every attempt to land the aircraft gently on the water. The sonar image suggests that may be the case." Romeo is also raising hope that some of Earhart's maps and charts could be found, saying, "We plan to bring closure to a great American story."
That was ABC's Allison Kosick with that. By the way, sonar experts are giving credibility to the image, saying it deserves closer inspection. The Deep Sea Vision team now plans to return to the same location to get better images. 6:01 is your time. Still ahead on Good Morning Northwest. First reported right here on Apple Valley News Now, a City of Yakima employee accused of committing criminal acts and payroll fraud in the amount of tens of thousands of dollars in 2023. The exclusive story is coming up. Plus, a new plan being considered by the Benton County Sheriff's Office involving the use of AI to identify suspects in the early stages of investigations. Your news at 6 starts now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Thanks for joining us on this 29th of January. I'm Austin Reed. We're going to check in first at 6 with our Tiffany Savannah. Tiffany, hope you had a great weekend. And as we are starting a new week, how's it looking weather-wise?
It's looking quiet today and tomorrow, Austin, but then the wet weather returns by the middle to end of the week. So hopefully you can make it a great Monday out there. We are starting off with patchy dense fog. That is why the National Weather Service has issued a dense fog advisory in effect until noon for much of the region, and visibility has already dropped to below a quarter of a mile in some locations like Walla Walla, also down into Pendleton and Hermiston. We're at a mile visibility in the Tri-Cities and Prosser and 1 mile in Yakima, but keep in mind these reports are coming out of single locations, so it could be a little bit worse where you are located. So allow for some extra travel time, slow down out there, and also increase that stopping distance. Temperatures are sitting in the 30s. We're at 37 degrees in the Tri-Cities. We're at 34 in Connell, 37 in Yakima, 34 in Ellensburg, and we're at 36 in Toppenish. So at least our temperatures are above the freezing mark, so we don't have to worry about any freezing fog to start off the work week. Here is your forecast for Yakima, Tri-Cities, and Walla Walla. Starting off with temperatures in the 30s this morning, midday temps in the low to middle 40s, and then we'll just keep it cloudy for the remainder of the day, but visibilities will be improving with high temperatures around 45 in Yakima and the Tri-Cities and getting close to 50 with maybe a little bit of sunshine in Walla Walla. We'll have your full 7-day forecast coming up in a little bit. Austin, back to you.
All right, Tiffany, thank you. See you soon. Well, on Friday, a City of Yakima employee was accused of committing felony criminal acts and payroll fraud worth tens of thousands of dollars. She's now facing formal charges after police say she broke into the home of another city employee and assaulted her last year. But even after the city learned about the charges, she was still at work. Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell has this story you'll only see right here.
Jeanette Mora has worked as a full-time employee for the city of Yakima for more than 16 years. She was the police services manager up until last year when she transitioned into the role of public records officer. But it's that change and the reasons behind it that's left many questioning why she's still working at the city at all. When Mora was working in her position as police services manager, she was in charge of overseeing the entire police records division. That division was in charge of things like data reporting to the FBI. But in March 2023, rumors began circulating about Mora and her attendance on a regular basis. And that got back to Yakima Police Chief Matt Murray. Chief Murray launched an internal investigation and told her the findings on March 28, 2023.
The more I looked, the more I found.
Okay.
And after having looked at several months of data, including card readers, cameras, it's pretty apparent that you're not here much.
Yakima Police Patrolmen's Association Vice President Scott Grant, who spoke on behalf of the union, says he and the people he represents want answers.
It first started with essentially a 2-day investigation as to how much time Jeanette was actually spending at work.
Murray's investigation uncovered Mora was only coming to work about half the time, but logging her hours as if she were there full time.
I mean, just the few months that we calculated it, 50% of the time for a quarter of the year is at $150,000 a year. I mean, you do the math. I mean, we're looking at tens of thousands of dollars that she basically stole from the city.
With department heads under pressure from the city to cut 10% of their budget, Chief Murray cut Mora's position and took it out of the police department's budget.
So it's clear to me that your position's not needed, because you're just not here.
Mora was put on paid administrative leave while she negotiated an agreement with the city. That agreement allowed her to cash out all of her paid time off, and in the meantime, she was hired as a city public records officer assigned to none other than police and fire public records.
That's one of the main concerns I have, is that she has access to a lot of sensitive documents and records.
How this happened is not quite clear, but it is important to note several sources have told me Mora has a close and personal relationship with the city of Yakima's Human Resources Director, Connie Mendoza. In one memo last fall, Chief Murray noted, quote, Connie's clear bias toward Jeanette Mora prevented me from working through the most troubling employee issue I have faced as the chief of police for Yakima. Then, according to court documents in July of 2023, the Kennewick Police Department was called in to investigate Mora over allegations of abuse. And while those accusations were unfounded,
Jeanette was upset because her friends that currently work for the police department didn't tell her about the initial investigation.
According to court documents, on July 27th, Mora went to the home of another City of Yakima employee. Authorities claim she was intoxicated and had a gun. The employee and Mora struggled over the gun, according to court documents, and Mora assaulted the employee. That employee was able to get the gun away from Mora, and the Yakima County Sheriff's Office showed up and took her into custody.
But it was determined that there was no probable cause at that time.
Mora was briefly placed on paid administrative leave, and the case was sent again to the Kennewick Police Department to investigate. At the same time that detectives were working through the criminal investigation, there was a dispute between the Yakima Police Department and Human Resources Director Connie Mendoza over the records left behind on Mora's computer from when she was the police services manager. Per department policy, when Mora left that position, all the files on her computer were copied over to a flash drive, so the person taking over her duties could use them.
And it's actually YPD policy, or Yakima Police policy, that those records don't get removed from the police department, just for sensitivity reasons.
But earlier in July, HR Director Mendoza reportedly took that flash drive from a YPD employee under threat of discipline and refused to give it back, leaving the police department without access to those records. In fact, it escalated to Chief Murray filing a formal complaint against the HR director on August 14th and requesting an internal investigation.
The document that came back was disfavorable to the human resource director, and essentially ordered her to turn those documents over to the police department.
But nearly 5 months later, Grant says it still hasn't happened. Former city manager Bob Harrison was fired at the beginning of the year by the newly elected city council, but he stayed on the job until the new interim city manager was sworn in Tuesday evening. That means Harrison was still in charge on Friday when those formal charges came in against Mora. Mora was charged with attempted residential burglary, fourth-degree assault with sexual motivation, reckless endangerment, and first-degree burglary, which is punishable by up to life in prison and/or a $50,000 fine.
We were just hoping that once she was formally charged with the crimes, that they would have the evidence they needed, that they would actually take the steps to place her on admin leave and eventually remove her. But when it was apparently clear that they had knowledge that she was being charged and still didn't do anything, that's why we're talking now.
But as city spokesperson Randy Beeler confirmed, as of today, Mora is still at work and has not been placed on administrative leave.
I think my biggest question is, why is she so untouchable? Why is she being protected so much? I don't understand why she's being treated so differently than any other city employee is.
A feeling reiterated in Chief Murray's formal complaint against Mendoza, where he said, quote, "Numerous city employees, both inside and outside the police department, have approached me about the city's response to Jeanette Mora's behavior. Universally, they feel that this is a continuation of nearly a decade of favorable treatment of Jeanette by Connie. They believe the situation is inequitable, unjust, and that they would never be afforded the same treatment for similar behavior." Grant actually told me several stories about city employees both inside and outside of the police department who were accused of committing much smaller crimes but faced a much bigger response from the city.
There was a officer that we had that backed into a mailbox, and he tried to cover it up by falsifying his daily record that we turned in at the time.
Grant says that officer was later charged with hit and run, a misdemeanor.
He was placed on administrative leave and terminated because of his actions, whereas Jeanette had committed a felony crime, yet no actions are being taken by the city.
In another case, Grant says a city employee working as a janitor at the airport took a bottle of gin from a box of items that had been confiscated from passengers by the TSA.
That employee is currently on administrative leave pending termination for a quasi-theft of a product that was never going back to the original owner.
I was able to get some clarification on the city's policy on administrative leave from city spokesperson Randy Beeler.
There is no process under which the city automatically would place an employee on administrative leave simply because they have been charged with a crime. Employees have due process rights, just like everybody else does. If a city employee was charged with a crime, the city would look at that circumstance, investigate that circumstance, and then come to a conclusion about what action to take.
And specifically, when it comes to Mora's case,
once the city receives it, of course, the investigation report will be reviewed, and then if there are any additional actions that need to be taken, the city will do so.
But Grant says overall, when it comes to the city's response to Mora's actions, specifically from the HR director and former city manager,
I think of failure as more of an accidental type of action. I think that their cover-up or their actions to sweep it under the rug was very purposeful, and so I wouldn't say failure. I'd say it's more corruption than anything. The ideal resolution is that she be placed on immediate administrative leave pending the criminal investigation, and we would like an internal investigation to see if there's any city policies that were violated, and then her actually be held accountable for those policies.
I reached out to City of Yakima Mayor Patricia Byers, who says she wasn't aware of any of this until just this morning. She told me, quote, "If the information given to me was correct, I do find it troubling. In my personal opinion, if a city employee commits a violent crime, I would think that there would be an internal investigation and that the person would be placed on leave until the matter was settled." I also reached out to former city manager Bob Harrison, who had some additional information about this case. When I asked him about the police records dispute between Chief Murray and Mendoza, he denied that there was an internal or external investigation into the matter and that they, quote, did a review and the result was that they needed a better understanding of whether an employee has access to their former records. When asked about the relationship between Mora and Mendoza, he said that Mendoza, quote, as HR director, has always performed her duties professionally and this is no different. He emphasized that Mora's position as police services manager was, quote, not eliminated as a result of discipline, but due to a reduction in force. He said he did learn of the charges against Mora on Friday and consulted with legal and HR, but no decisions were made, and it's now up to the new interim city manager, Dave Zabel. I also got in touch with Zabel, who told me, quote, as is our policy, the city is not going to comment on ongoing personnel issues. I haven't yet heard back from Mendoza, but this is a developing story, and we will have more information on our website, applevalleyNewsNow.com. Reporting from the Yakima newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
All right, Emily, what a story. 6:14 is your time. Still ahead on Good Morning Northwest. A hearing Friday may cause a delay in the case against the man accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students. What the judge is saying about this, that's coming up next.
So I'm not sure I could even talk about this, but US Cellular has a new deal where you can get any phone for free. Seriously, wow.
My business sense says that's a great deal.
You're so right. That's a totally awesome deal.
Get any phone free when you switch.
With K2 Vision RLE, you can throw away your distance and reading glasses. Plus, you'll never develop a cataract. Schedule a free Zoom consultation with us today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers.
Prepare to be swept off your feet at Legends Casino Hotel in February. Win a chance to play the Planet Love game board every Thursday, and you could claim up to $25,000. Who needs a crummy box of chocolates or bouquet of wilted flowers when you can score between $1,500 and $25,000 just by using your Legends Rewards card to earn entries? Come on, do you really want all that romance stuff in February or a big wad of lustful loot? Land on Planet Love at Legends Casino Hotel for a chance to win thousands.
Whether you're an active person that wants extra supplemental movement, maybe you want to keep your legs active while you work, or you wish to support your therapy at home, or you just want to build strength, increase your mobility, flexibility, and boost your circulation, Ellipse was made for you. Power-assisted exercise that frees your mind to enjoy your favorite seated activities. Just plug it in, place your feet, select your speed, and relax. Ellipse does all the work for you. Call now and order Ellipse.
Do you experience persistent hand pain, numbness, or discomfort? Prosser Memorial Health board-certified orthopedic surgeon Dr. Sam Strebel specializes in advanced procedures including endoscopic carpal tunnel release and trigger finger release. Relieve hand discomfort with expert care and call Prosser Orthopedic Center today at 509-786-5599 to schedule an appointment. This is how we care.
When you come up here, it's worlds away because we're Idaho's crown jewel.
The majesty of Priest Lake.
People love coming to Priest Lake in the wintertime.
Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
So I'm not sure I could even talk about this, but US Cellular has a new deal where you can get any phone for free. Seriously, wow.
My business sense says that's a great deal.
You're so right. That's a totally awesome deal.
Get any phone free when you switch.
This newscast sponsored by Nissan.
We at least owe Latah County, the people of Latah County, the attempt to seat a jury here first, and not just rely on there's been a lot of publicity.
Yeah, so eyes across the country were on the Latah County courtroom on Friday. Prosecutor Bill Thompson fighting to keep Brian Kohberger's murder trial in Moscow. There was much discussion as to when Kohberger's trial will take place. Kohberger is accused of killing 4 people. He's facing the death penalty in Idaho. Kohberger's defense team pressing the judge for more time, saying a trial this summer would be impossible. Ann Taylor citing numerous tasks that would take an enormous amount of time, like sifting through 51 terabytes of information. breaking down the interviews of more than 400 witnesses and doing extensive background on Kohberger himself. Prosecutor Bill Thompson agreeing that the trial will require an enormous workload and isn't opposed to starting in 2025, but says it should be in the county. The debate leaves the judge with a lot to think over.
It's really hard for me right now to set something in 2025, even though that might be just the reality. My heart goes out to the victims. I can't even imagine the pain, the grief. I'm going to contemplate a little bit.
The judge has taken time to contemplate other decisions, like whether cameras would be allowed in the courtroom, but there's no timetable as to when that decision will be made. The defense says we can expect them to file a motion to vacate, meaning move the trial out of the county. Prosecutor Thompson says they owe it to the county to seat a jury in Moscow. Again, there is no timeline as to when we can expect a trial date from the judge. 6:19 is your time. Coming up, the Benton County Sheriff's Office considering the use of AI when it comes to identifying suspects in the early stages of investigations. And let's get a live look outside from one of our sky cams this morning. There's the Giza Stadium, 37 degrees. We're seeing some light rain. Tiffany will come on back, have a full look at your first alert weather forecast as we are just getting going on this Monday morning. We're on your side.
In the heart of Tri-Cities wine country, you'll find the Goose Ridge Richland Tasting Room. Located in the center of our vineyards is an opportunity to enjoy life through wines, hard ciders, Monson Ranch spirits, light bites, and live music at Goose Ridge. More than you'd expect, more than just a winery.
Looking for a car with more room for adventure? Make your presence known when you drive away in a new 2024 Kia Sportage LX with all-wheel drive from Overturf Kia. Now only $29,999. Plus, get 4.25% interest for up to 48 months. You'll find a great selection of new vehicles in stock now. Take delivery today or reserve a car that's on its way. Shop online anytime at overturfkia.com. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
In life's delicate moments, turn to the compassionate experts at Tri-Cities Chaplaincy. Whether it's hospice, palliative, or grief care for adults and children, we are here for you in Benton and Franklin counties. And the best part, our grief support comes at no cost to you. When life gets tough, we're here to guide you, ensuring you live your best life, even through the toughest moments. Visit us today at tccbestlife.org.
At Rite Aid, we know your yoga routine is more than a workout. It's a ticket to cheat day. That your eye drops do more than soothe eyes. They keep you scrolling all night. And that your skincare is more than just me time. So from your bedtime routine to your wake-up rituals, it means more at Rite Aid. Get up to date on your flu and COVID-19 vaccinations so you don't miss a moment with the ones you love. Over 60, you may need your RSV vaccination too. Schedule ahead or just walk in.
On the #1 entertainment talk show, Ryan Cranston and Nikolai Coster-Waldau. Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Apple Valley News Now forecaster Stacy Lee.
We're constantly looking ahead for the next weather event, so we'll all know what's coming before it arrives.
And our local experience is the difference. First alert weather from Apple Valley News Now.
Always on your side.
Some people believe they can stop cervical cancer screening once they have children. Not true. Keep getting tested until you turn 65. There's more at applevalley.newsnow.com.
Becky Morris at Prosser Memorial Health's Grandview Clinic. Visit prosserhealth.org. Operation Best Friend on Good Morning Northwest, sponsored by Windermere Group 1.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Tiffany Savona.
Good morning and happy Monday. Hope everyone had a great weekend and ended up being a pretty nice day yesterday. But today we're starting off with some patchy fog and it's locally dense in some locations. Therefore, the National Weather Service has issued Dense fog advisory for a good chunk of the region until noon today. So take it easy as you head out to work on this Monday, or if you're driving the kids to school. As we're taking a live look out of our Richland camera, you can see our temperatures are in the 30s. It looks like roads are a little bit wet, but temperatures well above the freezing mark. So we don't have to worry about any of that freezing fog, and that official sunrise at 7:23. So we're getting a little bit closer to that. Visibility reduced to below 1/4 of a mile in some locations. So that's the case in Walla Walla, Pendleton, Hermiston. We're still at 1 mile in the Tri-Cities, but keep in mind it may be a little bit worse, or visibility could be a bit lower where you live. Prosser, 2 miles, and Yakima and Ellensburg, about 1 mile visibility at this time. So take it easy, allow for some extra travel time, and increase that stopping distance between the person in front of you. Satellite and radar showing all is quiet. High pressure firmly in control of our weather. There's a cold front offshore that will likely keep all of the shower activity well to our west today. And here's the setup. With high pressure in control, that's the reason we're seeing the fog this morning. Winds are very light. The ground is saturated, so that's why we have the fog this morning. Now, the moisture, like I mentioned, is going to stay off to the west today, but then this high pressure is going to weaken as we get into the middle of the week, and this dip in the jet stream is going to slide into the Pacific Northwest. So the pattern becomes a little bit more unsettled as we get to the middle of the work week. Here's what you can expect today. Fog lingers into the early afternoon, but visibilities will gradually improve. Once the fog lifts, it's still going to be pretty cloudy, so it's going to be a dreary day. Temperatures today into the middle 40s, which is a few degrees above average for this time of year. Not bad. 45 in the Tri-Cities, 45 in Yakima, 49 in Walla Walla. Could be a touch milder to the north and east of Walla Walla today. Tonight, we keep it cloudy. We could see some patchy fog develop once again by early tomorrow morning with those light winds, and there could be a spotty shower or two impacting places like Yakima and Sunnyside as we head into early tomorrow morning. Rain would be on the light side in the morning, with temperatures only dropping into the upper 30s early Tuesday. Let's get you into tomorrow's forecast. A couple of spotty showers possible across the Yakima Valley. The rest of us will likely just stay cloudy and dreary, with high temperatures tomorrow similar to what we're going to look at today. So highs on Tuesday into the mid and upper 40s. So we may even crack 50 degrees Walla Walla, 45 in the Tri-Cities, and 46 degrees in Yakima tomorrow. 7-day forecast showing that we're dry Monday, Tuesday, with more rain in the picture Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Same story for Yakima. However, we could see a couple of spotty showers tomorrow in Yakima. Better chances, especially on Wednesday, with highs in the 40s. Then in Walla Walla, fog this morning, tomorrow morning, showers possible Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even into the weekend. Hermiston, 44 today, 45 tomorrow. Rain chances back in the forecast Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Austin?
Tiffany, thank you. We'll see you soon. The Benton County Sheriff's Office held its third public hearing asking for feedback on a proposal to use facial recognition in technology to assist in investigations. But what exactly does that mean for you? Apple Valley News Now's Alyssa Warner spoke with an expert at WSU Tri-Cities to find out.
Facial recognition is one of the oldest AI tools. In fact, people were working on facial expression in 1960.
Dr. John Miller is an associate professor of computer science at WSU Tri-Cities. He says, at its heart, artificial intelligence is a tool.
And this is what computers are great at. They can do legwork and they can do it fast, and they save us a lot of time to do creative work.
Even after decades of development, Dr. Miller says there's a lot of mistrust of these computer programs. That could be based in a lack of understanding about what they do.
The difficulty with this algorithm is that even though this algorithm probably uses exactly the same things humans use to recognize a face, and we can demonstrate that with the algorithm. For example, it gives importance to the eyes and to the mouth and to hair and things like that. So the only difference between this algorithm and your brain is that an eye to the computer is something very different than what your human brain thinks an eye is.
If computers don't see things the same way a human does, it can lead to some lost in translation moments, and hackers could deliberately exploit that weakness.
With malicious intent, you can subtly change the image that greatly affects the computer's interpretation of the image, but doesn't change your interpretation of the image. So you think it's a stop sign if you look at it, but now you've fooled the computer and it thinks it's a speed limit sign.
That's a general concern, and fixing it is an ongoing effort. When it comes to the Benton County Sheriff's Office, investigators say they're looking at using a program called Clearview AI to help sift through tens of billions of pictures online when they're trying to identify someone.
Examples of those cases are the obvious being criminal cases, less obvious being community caretaking, a child that walks away from home that can identify who their parents are or where they live, a family member with a medical ailment that makes it to where they can't identify who they are, where they live, or who their family is, unconscious individuals. The goal is to reunite those people with their family as quickly as possible. And the obvious goal of the criminal investigation is to identify potential suspects in crime and get them held accountable for what they've done.
At the last public hearing earlier this month, we heard concerns about how the technology could potentially be used in the future. The sheriff's office says state law requires them to get permission for every new step. So if they wanted to expand in the future, they would have to go through this process all over again. As for privacy concerns, Clearview AI says it uses pictures publicly available online, things that you could conceivably find with a regular search engine if you had the time, and says it does not save the reference pictures that are uploaded by law enforcement. I asked Dr. Miller what he would recommend when it comes to allowing law enforcement to use artificial intelligence.
For law enforcement, I would prefer that the user be a little bit educated because the consequences can be enormous. Where human harm is involved, it would be better if the people who actually used it were somewhat informed about what's behind the algorithm.
That was Alyssa Warner with the story. Coming up next here on Good Morning Northwest at 6:30, a new research outreach initiative from the Richland Police Department is aiming to build trust between the department and the future of the Tri-Cities. Stay with us.
Before you head for the slopes, catch the Apple Valley News Now Northwest Ski Report. It's on air during weather, online at applevalleyNewsNow.com or on our mobile app. The Northwest Ski Report from Apple Valley News Now, sponsored by Schweitzer Mountain Resort in Sandpoint, Idaho.
To reduce your risk of cervical cancer, ask your doctor about the HPV vaccine and have regular Pap tests. There's more information on how to avoid cervical cancer at applevalleyNewsNow.com.
Becky Morris at Prosser Memorial Health's Grandview Clinic. Visit prosserhealth.org.
With K2 Vision RLE, you can throw away your distance and reading glasses. Plus, you'll never develop a cataract. Schedule a free Zoom consultation with us today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers.
Once upon a time, 4 superstars went on a long journey.
Follow the Golden Ticket Road.
They searched hometowns big and small, leaving no voice unheard.
I can see brighter things ahead.
What's that?
That's Hollywood, where all dreams come true.
There's no place like American Idol.
Season premiere Sunday, February 18th on ABC and stream on Hulu.
If you're a high school senior, listen up. This message is for you. A college education is expensive. The Molly Davis Scholarship Program can help with up to $7,500 per year. It's easy to apply. Just go to YakimaRotaryTrust.org and click on the Molly Davis Scholarship tab. Hundreds of Yakima County residents have achieved the dream of a higher education thanks to the Molly Davis Scholarship Program.
Applications end February 27th, so apply today.
Next ET, we're with the all-star cast of Argylle in London talking about the film's connection to Taylor Swift.
I mean, it would be kind of cool.
The breadcrumbs were placed. Next ET.
Tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Need a new best friend? Then check out Operation Best Friend on Good Morning Northwest, where each Wednesday you'll meet lovable pets from shelters that are looking for their forever homes. Operation Best Friend from Windermere Group 1 and Apple Valley News Now.
Does your phone have the Apple Valley News Now app? With top local stories, first alert weather, and an easy way to enter our contests. Make Apple Valley News Now your go-to information app. Search and download on the App Store or Google Play. This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law.
At 6:33, welcome back. Members of the Richland Police Department were on hand at the Richland Public Library on Friday to talk to kids about what it's like to be a police officer. Apple Valley News Now's Monique Ledesma says the department is hoping this experience helps build bridges with the community.
When Detective Eric Edwards gets a chance to be a part of a community event, he says he's all in.
I've been a police officer for 21 years, and every time I've had an opportunity to do something like this, I've taken that opportunity.
Detective Edwards got the chance to speak to young children, and he used his storytelling ability to help them learn.
I had 3 books to choose from. I picked the 2 that I thought did the best to let the kids know the breadth of things that police officers do, as well as a couple of fine details about some of the cooler things that we do, because the job is cool.
But Edwards says it's more than just reading to children. It's a way for officers to be seen by the youngest people in our communities in a different light. Richland Police Department tells me that reading books like these help educate children at a young age that police officers are not just people behind badges. Edwards says programs like these help kids build trust with local officers.
Because we want children to feel comfortable to be able to go and ask for help when they need help. And if the police are who they need help from, we don't want them to be afraid of the police. It's one of the hardest balances that we have to deal with.
Detective Edwards says the department is eager to be involved in the community that helps build bridges, because that's what builds trust between one another. Reporting in Richland, Monique Ledesma, Apple Valley News Now.
Very good program there. Monique, thank you. 6:35 is your time. Still ahead, the president is blaming Iran-backed militias for the first U.S. fatalities after months of drone strikes against American forces across the Middle East since the start of the Israel-Hamas war.
Before you head for the slopes, catch the Apple Valley News Now Northwest Ski Report. It's on air during weather, online at applevalleyNewsNow.com or on our mobile app. The Northwest Ski Report from Apple Valley News Now, sponsored by Schweitzer Mountain Resort in Sandpoint, Idaho.
Did you know Ustria Health has 3 full-time board-certified orthopedic surgeons? Pain in your hands, knees, hips, or shoulders can reduce your quality of life. Orthopedic doctors repair bone, joint, ligament, and tendon injuries, which can relieve debilitating pain. Our surgeons treat tendonitis and carpal tunnel, repair broken bones and fractures, and replace painful, worn-out joints, putting you back in motion. Ustria Health, exceptional rural health care close to home.
Magical moments. Snowy adventures. Warming up. Making memories. A winter wonderland. The perfect close-by getaway this winter is Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Find countless ways to play and plan your escape at cdawinter.com.
You were nominated for Volunteers Count, and you won, and you've got yourself a $1,000 donation from STCU.
For a small organization like us, that is not an insignificant amount of money.
I'm more of a behind-the-scenes person, so when I do get the recognition for the stuff that I do, it's like very rewarding.
She was just the perfect person.
STCU Volunteers Count honors volunteers in our communities. Please tell us a story of someone you believe is making an impact.
At Rite Aid, we know your yoga routine is more than a workout. It's a ticket to cheat day. That your eye drops do more than soothe eyes. They keep you scrolling all night. And that your skincare is more than just me time. So from your bedtime routine to your wake-up rituals, it means more at Rite Aid. Get up to date on your flu and COVID-19 vaccinations so you don't miss a moment with the ones you love. Over 60, you may need your RSV vaccination too. Schedule ahead or just walk in.
She made a stunning swan fashion statement. Now Demi Moore is making a TV comeback.
Mind if I
Sit down.
We've got her new interview. Why starring in Ryan Murphy's new Feud was a dream role, years in the making. Next Extra.
Tonight at 7:30 on Apple Valley News Now.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm on a cruise ship! There was an explosion!
I have your location.
Please!
Help is on the way.
E.T. and Extra, tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
President Biden says the U.S. will respond after 3 American troops were killed and dozens more were injured in an overnight drone strike in northeast Jordan near the Syrian border.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. It is 6:39. I'm Austin Reed, the 29th of January now, and we are going to check in with our Tiffany Savannah. She joins us with a look at your forecast as we are starting a brand new week. Tiffany, good morning.
Good morning, Austin. Hope everyone enjoyed their weekend. We're starting off on a foggy note. In fact, we do have a dense fog advisory in effect until noon for all of the counties highlighted in gray. That includes the Tri-Cities, Walla Walla, and up into places in the Yakima Valley. So be careful as you head out on your morning commute. Temperatures are in the 30s. At least we don't have to worry about any freezing fog this morning. There's the silver lining for you on this Monday. It's 37 degrees in Richland, and from this vantage point, visibility not looking too bad. However, it was a bit worse a few hours ago, so that just shows you how quickly it can change. So just take it easy and be alert for any changes. Visibility has dropped to below a quarter of a mile in Walla Walla and Pendleton. We're sitting at about a mile visibility in the Tri-Cities. We're down to below a quarter of a mile now in Yakima up through Ellensburg. So the dense fog is out there. And like I mentioned, just allow for some extra travel time. Temperatures in the 30s. We're above freezing everywhere except down into Pendleton, where temperatures have dropped to 31. Your commute forecast. Add a little bit extra travel time this morning to that fog. This evening looking better, but cloudy with temperatures dropping into the lower 40s. Austin?
All right, Tiffany, we'll see you with more weather coming up in just a bit. 6:40 is your time. President Biden vowing to respond after 3 U.S. service members were killed and dozens more injured overnight in a drone strike in Jordan, right near the Syrian border. The U.S. blaming Iranian-backed militants for the attack. ABC's M. Wynn has the latest from Washington.
This morning, the U.S. outraged over the attack in Jordan that killed 3 American troops and injured at least 34 others. The White House saying Iranian-backed militants launched an explosive-laden drone into a U.S. base near the Syrian border. 8 troops had to be evacuated for a higher level of care. The Pentagon says the injuries include shrapnel wounds and possible traumatic brain injuries. The Secretary of Defense saying the U.S. will respond at a time and place of our choosing. President Biden on the attack.
We had a tough day last night in the Middle East. We lost 3 brave souls, and we shall respond.
Iranian-backed militants have intensified recent attacks, launching more than 160 attacks on U.S. forces in Iraq and Syria since October, when the war broke out between Israel and Hamas. This as Houthi rebels backed by Iran continue to attack ships transiting the Red Sea. Just this weekend, this video showed a British warship successfully shooting down a drone, and this oil tanker hit by a missile Friday and set ablaze. The crew forced to abandon ship. Several congressional Republicans have released statements calling for stronger action from the president. Our Martha Raddatz recently pressed the chairman of the Joint Chiefs on the Biden administration's strategy in the region.
We don't want to go down a path of greater escalation that drives to a much broader conflict within the region.
That was ABC's M. Wynn. 6:42 coming up. We're going to take a look at some of the dogs and mushers who competed in the Warm Lake Stage sled dog race over the weekend. And we've got a big announcement coming up as well. Stay tuned.
Stacy Lee, she's on your side. Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather.
No one wants to see that.
She's made her mind up. She's leaving.
At Denver Mattress, comfort comes easy, but peace of mind is a bit tricky. And no, we can't give you a bedside psychoanalyst. Beat it, Sigmund. But you can rest easy knowing every mattress is backed by our 365-night Better Sleep guarantee. And during the 7-day winter sale, check out the Summit for only $299.99. Or get a $300 gift when you purchase any Tempur-Pedic. Plus 4 years no-interest financing and free shipping. Comfort, peace of mind, and a great night's sleep. Only at Denver Mattress.
With K2 Vision RLE, you can throw away your distance and reading glasses. Plus, you'll never develop a cataract. Schedule a free Zoom consultation with us today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers.
When you come up here, it's worlds away because we're Idaho's crown jewel.
The majesty of Priest Lake.
People love coming to Priest Lake in the wintertime.
Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Two iconic rock bands. One night of history. The Marshall Tucker Band. Jefferson Starship. Live on Cloud 9 Tour. Saturday, March 9th. The Legends Casino Hotel, Toppenish. All the hits. All the history. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster and Legends Casino Gift Shop. The Legends Casino Hotel, Toppenish. Saturday, March 9th.
We've got a big problem. What else is new?
Wednesday, February 7th, the Connors are back.
I'm scared, Daddy.
Doing what they do best.
Darlene, you've always been the messenger of doom.
I'm a little rusty, but looking forward to getting back on that horse.
It's a brand new season, and they're all in.
For new boyfriends, the ante is $25.
I'm gonna take all your money and your daughter.
Only half of that bothers me.
The Connors, season premiere February 7th on ABC and stream on Hulu.
To reduce your risk of cervical cancer, ask your doctor about the HPV vaccine and have regular Pap tests. There's more information on how to avoid cervical cancer at applevalleynewsnow.com.
Becky Morris at Prosser Memorial Health's Grandview Clinic. Visit prosserhealth.org.
Does your phone have the Apple Valley News Now app? With top local stories, first alert weather, and an easy way to enter our contests. Make Apple Valley News Now your go-to information app. Search and download on the App Store or Google Play.
On the #1 entertainment talk show, Brian Cranston and Nikolai Coster-Waldau.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
At 6:46, we're going to take a look at some photos from the Idaho Sled Dog Challenge's Warm Lake Stage race, where Saturday Clayton Perry and his furry friends took home first place. Perry and his team of sled dogs finished the two-day 52-mile race just a little over 5.5 hours long. He averaged a speed just under 10 miles an hour. Challenging weather conditions have had a major impact to the Idaho Sled Dog Challenge and similar races, including the Eagle Cap in Oregon, the Race to the Sky in Montana, and Bear Grease in Minnesota. Don't go anywhere. Tiffany Savano will come on back. Have a look at your forecast. 37 degrees outside in Pasco right now. Light showers. Stay with us.
Injured by a big truck? My winning experience in trucking cases makes me a good choice to help you. I've been there and done that many times. Call me, Attorney Mariano Morales, the Heavy Hitter.
The Heavy Hitter is one for you. Call 853-2222.
When it comes to remodeling your bath, there's fact and there's fiction. Fiction, it's too expensive to remodel your bath. Fact, with Bath Fitter's hundreds of design options, you'll get the bath you want to fit your budget. Fiction, bath remodels take forever and tear the house apart. Fact, Bath Fitter installation takes just 1 day to fit your schedule. Get the bath that fits you. Bath Fitter, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through March 31st, receive rebates up to $1,600 off on a new Daikin Fit system and thermostat when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Do you experience persistent hand pain, numbness, or discomfort? Prosser Memorial Health board-certified orthopedic surgeon Dr. Sam Strebel specializes in advanced procedures including endoscopic carpal tunnel release and trigger finger release. Relieve hand discomfort with expert care and call Prosser Orthopedic Center today at 509-786-5599 to schedule an appointment. This is how we care.
Apple Valley News Now forecaster Stacy Lee.
We're constantly looking ahead for the next weather event, so we'll all know what's coming before it arrives.
And our local experience is the difference. First Alert Weather from Apple Valley News Now.
Always on your side.
Once upon a time, 4 superstars went on a long journey.
Follow the Golden Ticket Road.
They searched hometowns big and small, leaving no voice unheard.
I can see brighter things ahead.
What's that?
That's Hollywood, where all dreams come true.
There's no place like American Idol.
Season premiere Sunday, February 18th on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Next ET, we're with the all-star cast of Argylle in London talking about the film's connection to Taylor Swift.
I mean, it would be kind of cool.
The breadcrumbs were placed. Next ET.
Tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Injured by a big truck? My winning experience in trucking cases makes me a good choice to help you. I've been there and done that many times. Call me, Attorney Mariano Morales, the heavy hitter.
The heavy hitter is one for you. Call 853-2222.
Operation Best Friend on Good Morning Northwest, sponsored by Windermere Group 1.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Tiffany Savona.
Good morning. Hope everyone is having a great start to the day. We do have a dense fog advisory in effect until noon today for visibilities about a quarter of a mile or less. It's not looking too bad in Richland at this time. We have 37 degrees, and we will see temperatures rise a little bit more into the 40s later on today, but we're not going to see a big warm up from where we are right now. Visibility is down to less than a quarter of a mile in Walla Walla and Pendleton, less than a quarter of a mile in Hermiston. We're at a mile in the Tri-Cities, but visibility a little bit lower up toward Yakima and Ellensburg. Now, as we go throughout the day today, notice that all of the moisture is located out ahead of that front, which is still in the Pacific Ocean. Now, all the moisture is going to stay to the west today. High pressure will keep us dry, but high pressure is responsible for the fog this morning. We have light winds, a lot of moisture in place, and we could see more fog tomorrow morning as well. So high pressure will start to weaken by the middle of the work week. That's when we'll start to see more changes to the forecast. But expect to stay dry today. It'll just be a cloudy, dreary day. So fog lingers into about the middle of the day, and then we'll just be cloudy. There could be a few breaks in the clouds out toward Walla Walla. That's about it. Cloudy, dreary Monday for you. Temperatures at least a few degrees above average into the middle 40s. So everyone well above freezing. That snow, hard to come by at this time as it continues to melt. We still have a couple of big piles out there on our Richland cam, that is. As we take a look at tonight's forecast, we're cloudy, light winds. We could see some patchy fog develop once again by tomorrow morning. Maybe even a passing shower out toward Yakima and Sunnyside. I think if we do see any rain tomorrow morning, it'll be pretty light and isolated in coverage. Temperatures drop tonight into the upper 30s. Not bad for an overnight low, considering our average low is in the upper 20s this time of year. A couple of spotty showers will be possible across the Yakima Valley tomorrow. The rest of us, just cloudy, similar to what we're expecting today, with high temperatures still hovering in the middle 40s. We could crack 50 out toward Walla Walla and into some of our easternmost communities. 7-day forecast showing that we are cloudy today, tomorrow, rain chances back in play Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then coming down as we head into the weekend. Yakima, 45 today, tomorrow. Rain chances really jumping up Wednesday and coming down a little bit more by the end of the week. But temperatures staying above average. Walla Walla, 49. We could crack 50 tomorrow, and then that chance for scattered showers Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, into the weekend. Hermiston, 44 today, 45 tomorrow, 50s Wednesday, Thursday. Rain chances linger into Friday, coming down with a little bit of a cool down by the end of the week. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much. You know, Tiffany's brand new to Apple Valley News Now, and we have a new face as well. This is Jessica Jalal, right?
Yes, that is how you say it.
I got it. Well, Jessica is joining us, and she's going to be taking over the anchor desk here on Good Morning Northwest. So I will be back on the evening shows at 5, 6, and 11. But we want to talk a little bit about you.
Okay, nice to meet you, Austin.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Having me.
You know, 2024 here at ABC's Apple Valley News Now has been a new year.
Yes.
You know? So 3 fun things about you.
Ooh, fun things. Okay, so I'm from Texas originally, so sometimes I say y'all a lot. I believe y'all should be a word. It should be in the dictionary.
I like that. Yep.
My favorite food is pizza. I'm kind of a 12-year-old with my food palate. I like to eat like chicken strips and pizza and things like that.
Nice.
And then I've been skydiving. I'm kind of a little bit of an adrenaline junkie, so
wow.
I like to do, those kind of things. Maybe just once, though.
I would not pick you as a skydiver.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I just did it one time. So
but now you're like kind of.
I kind of caught the bug and want to do it again. Would you ever do it?
Oh, I don't know. That's like pretty intense. But I guess I should try. I could try it.
Somebody goes with you, so would you be able to do that?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I would never be able to fall out of the sky myself.
Jump
out myself.
That's true. So join Jessica weekday mornings here on Good Morning Northwest as she will be filling in for Jill, and who will be back in a few months. So between you and Tiffany, it's going to be a great day to wake up.
It's going to be so much fun. Please tune in.
All right, Jessica, thank you very much. We've got a final word for you right after this.
In this morning's GMA First Look, it's the high-stakes hearing that could result in a retrial for convicted murderer Alec Murdaugh.
Court will be in recess.
South Carolina jury members are set to testify at a hearing for the disgraced lawyer who was found guilty of killing his wife and son last year, to decide whether he should get a new trial after his attorneys accused court clerk Becky Hill of jury tampering, a claim Hill denies.
They heard Ms. Hill prior to deliberations, and frankly before the defense put on their case. Ms. Hill instructed, do not be fooled by the defense.
Hill, who read Murdaugh's guilty verdict, is expected to testify in the hearing alongside all 12 jurors who took part in the trial. And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll hear live from legal expert Dan Abrams on what you can expect from the hearing. With your GMA First Look, I'm Eva Pilgrim, ABC News, New York.
Now, the morning sprint.
6:56 on this Monday. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to check in with your first alert forecast with Tiffany in just a bit. But first, one of our big stories this morning. The Benton County Sheriff's Office held its third public meeting Friday night about the potential use of facial recognition to aid investigations. One of the primary concerns of residents is the fear that the Sheriff's Office is focused too much on the positives of this technology, which is powered by AI, without evaluating the potential drawbacks. Experts say AI shouldn't be the only piece of evidence linking someone to a crime. According to the Benton County Sheriff's Office, they're hoping to use the technology as a starting point. All right, let's get your forecast. Here's Tiffany.
Good morning, Austin. We have that dense fog advisory in effect until noon for visibilities below a quarter of a mile, and we've already seen that. Our temperatures are in the 30s, and we're above the freezing mark, so we don't have to worry about any of that freezing fog. But just be alert, be on guard, because visibility could rapidly change on your drive into work or if you're taking the kids into school this morning. Here's what you can expect today. Fog will linger through around lunchtime, and then we'll start to just see cloudy conditions as temperatures slowly climb into the middle 40s. So don't expect much of a warm up more from where we are right now. Your 7-day forecast showing that tomorrow's going to be pretty similar. Fog in the morning, 46, cloudy in the afternoon, and then rain chances back in the forecast Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and going down this weekend. Yakima, 45 today, 45 tomorrow, and then rain chances really going up starting Wednesday and continuing on a scattered basis Thursday and Friday. Walla Walla, we could crack 50 tomorrow, and then 50s by the middle of the week with better chances for rain. Austin, over to you.
All right, Tiffany, have a great day. GMA is next.